Mr. Jimmy Soltis.
I guess they saved the best for first. No, I'll just say a couple things before we get going. On behalf of the Cardinal Athletic Department and every student athlete for the next year and the past 4 years, we can't, and the families, we can't thank the Peters family enough. Some quick calculations in my brain. I'm sure after this year they're going to be pushing over or under, give or take, $300,000 donated back to the school. After this year, I'm guessing. So thank you. And at least as far back as I can remember, I don't think we've ever had an organization, nonprofit or anybody, give us that kind of money. It's just unbelievable. I know our families, a lot of the families that need this money, they don't even attend this event. It's more helpful in their lives than you guys can even imagine. So I know a lot of you have invested in Cardinal families over time, have been there, gone through the ringer, and it's your time to give back, and you guys all have done a great job. And I just can't thank you guys all enough, and especially the Peters family, so thank you. I believe Kristen Klepper is next.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kristen Klepper. I'm the chairperson for the pig roast and the treasurer of the athletic boosters. It's hard to believe that this is our 5th and final event. I'd like to take a few minutes to share with you how this all got started. I gave a similar speech last year, but it's a fun story to tell, so I'm going to tell it again. In the spring of 2017, Cardinal was facing financial hardship. Our levy had recently failed, and parents were informed at the May school board meeting that pay to participate fees were going to increase significantly. For example, fees were $1,100 for volleyball, $892 for football, and $505 for soccer. Parents and students alike were devastated. I'll admit it, at that time as parents, we were not involved in fundraising or volunteering. We had 2 kids that played multiple sports at the high school and 2 young kids at home. But along with so many others in our community, my husband Seth and I knew we had to do something to help these kids. Parents, coaches, administrators, alumni, community members, we're all coming together to brainstorm ideas on what we could possibly do to help make these activities affordable for our families. We just kept coming up short. To raise $1,000 here or $2,000 there wasn't going to be the solution. We needed something big. You see, this started as more than just raising some money to help lower costs. This was about keeping athletics and performing arts in our district. That was the hill that we needed to climb. Seth and I were talking one night, and he said, we really need something that everyone will stand behind. We need something meaningful that will bring us all together for one purpose. Something that embraces what it means to live in the Cardinal community. And as he's describing to me what it was like for him as an athlete at Cardinal, it hit him like a ton of bricks. Joe Peters and beer, and we should definitely have Derek roast some pigs. So Seth reached out to the family and Derek, and we all decided this would be a perfect fit. It was time to get to work. Mind you, it was the first week of June, and the pig roast was scheduled for July 15th. We had our work cut out for us. What happened in the following weeks was truly remarkable. We had an army, and I mean an army of people, who came together and worked so seamlessly to make this event in honor of Joe Peters come together. In less than 6 weeks' time, somehow, we had organized a huge event, sold over 1,100 car raffle tickets, and raised a total of $108,000. Needless to say, those kids played for free that season. The pig roast has always been meant to be a gathering of our community as a family, while simultaneously raising funds to help support Cardinal Kids. Holding this event in honor of Joe has always made perfect sense. Joe and the Peters family have been deeply embedded into our community for so long. All of Joyce and Tom's kids are Cardinal alumni, and most of them are still local, raising their own families. Families like theirs are what make our community so great. The decision for this year to be our final event was not an easy one, but we knew we wanted to focus on three things: Joe, our community, and the kids. In order to really achieve that, we knew we needed one more partnership, so we reached out to Mayor Ben Garlick. We are so grateful for the sponsorship from the Village of Middlefield, the mayor, council, and our local businesses. It may be our last year, but it has truly come full circle. Over the course of the past 4 events, we have raised over $258,000, and every penny has gone back into the pockets of Cardinal families. Hundreds of kids benefit from this event each year by making pay-to-participate fees more affordable. We may live in a small town, but we sure have big hearts. We believed in our mission, and we couldn't have done this without each and every one of you. To the Peters family, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Thank you for trusting us with your family's name and legacy. We did not take that lightly. We are so proud to hold this event in Joe's memory, and we have never been more honored to be a part of something so special. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
All right, we have one more speaker then to say the matriarch, the queen of our family, Joyce Peters.
I'm going to do my best to get through it. Since this is the last time I get to do this, let me introduce my family. I've never introduced them all by name here in order to save time, but please indulge me this one time. In case you're one of the few here who don't know who I am, I'm Joyce Peters. This is my husband, Tom. Starting over here with Joe's family, we have Joe's wife, Jackie. Wave everybody when you get back. Their son, Cole, his wife, Brittany, and kids, Finn and Junie. Drew and his wife, Kirsten, and their kids, Liam and Cecilia. Nate and Gabby. Seth and Emma. Forgot who she belongs to. Okay, over here we've got our son Mike and his wife Candy, who's been entertaining you all afternoon. Their kids are Megan and her husband Nick, son Michael and his friend Sarah, Mike's daughter Faith, and Jared. Over here in the middle, we've got our daughter Lisa and husband Frank, their son Tommy and his fiancee Destiny, and their kids Ivory and Wyatt, Lisa's son Trey, and Lisa and Frank's daughter Alyssa could not be here as she's currently living in Arizona. Down there all lonesome on the end, we have the favored one, as they all like to say. The chosen one. Tony, he's here from Arizona. Unfortunately, his family could not come because airline fares are ridiculous. Back there in Arizona, he's got his wife Melissa, his son Jamin, and wife Millie with their daughters Emma and Cora, his son Jobin and his fiancee Audrey, who currently live in Taiwan. His son Mac is in Arizona. His daughter Jaden and her husband James live in Utah with their daughter Della. And Tony's son Nakai is in Arizona with his mom. So if you try to count, that makes 4 kids plus partners, 15 grandkids plus partners, 9 great-grandchildren with 1 on the way. That's somewhere in the order of 48 of us. So we have lived in the Cardinal District for 46 years. We started attending sports here when our neighbors, the Porter kids, were playing football and wrestling. Tom started to go to wrestling practice to give the heavyweights someone big to throw around. Jeff Ziegler was one of those guys. Shortly thereafter, our kids Joe, Mike, Lisa, and Tony started into middle school sports. For the most part, it was 2 or 3 sports per season of us sitting in the bleachers for the next 15 years. A short break followed, and then the grandkids got into sports and music. There went the next 15 years on the bleachers. But we still attended Cardinal sports after that. We're currently following our grandson, Mackay, in Arizona on a national sports live streaming station. Believe me, it's not at all like being there, but at least we can see him excel like his cousins did. And let me tell you, it is not quite the same to be sitting in your living room yelling at the referees. Our oldest great-grandchild, Ivory, is going to start soccer this year, so we're going to be on it again. And I'm sure she will be followed by the 9 great-grandkids that are right after her. Ivory. Hey, girl. I'm sure you've all seen her all over my Facebook post. The first, all this to say that our family is ingrained in this community and in the sports and performing arts and will be for years to come. The first year of the pig roast was an emergency situation and suddenly the fees were so high they were unaffordable. As Kristen said, we raised a lot of money that year. Fortunately, the next year the board was able to make some adjustments to the fees to make them a little more tolerable, and it helped by passing the renewal levy. So I just want to ask you, please support your school district's renewal levies. They're so important. If you don't, you risk losing so much. I know that some of you have asked why we're ending the pig roast. Unfortunately, on an event such as this one, is an enormous amount of work. The core group of us who do all this work are tapped out and now have so many other responsibilities. We are hopeful that others may take on the task of helping students to participate. We started this pig roast journey with the Kleppers 6 years ago. It has been challenging, stressful, and emotional, but the reward is always gratifying. The support from the school and community has been amazing. Generosity is the name of the game in this district. We need to thank many people, for without them, this project would be impossible. All of you who attend this event and spend your hard-earned money for a good cause, we thank you. Those of you who put together the most amazing baskets for the Chinese and special auctions, thank you. Those who have volunteered their time to put this event together, the teams, coaches, advisors, and parents who consistently participate, the individuals and small businesses who give generously to cover all the expenses so that every penny we raise goes directly to our cause. Refer to those people as our baseball team. Some donated cash, some donated special auction items, some provided food or fuel or services. Even the trash collection was donated. On your tables are lists of those loyal donors. Please thank them and frequent their businesses. We are grateful to our Grand Slam backers, Sly Family Funeral Home, Radioactive Electronics, and most of all, the amazing Zieglers, Rod and Pam, who stepped up when we needed a new place to hold our pig roast and donated their beautiful venue to our event for 3 years. Their contribution to the cause is above and beyond. We are grateful to our core team leaders, Barb Rayburn, who does the most incredible marketing, graphics, photography, and is always there no matter what is needed. Derek Pilarchek donates his skills cooking the pig year after year out of sheer love for our family. JC's Restaurant, owned by John and Cindy Chambers, Candy's brother, who provides all the side dishes and who last year had to put their own business on hold to prepare more food when we started running out of food to feed all of you. Stacy and Rich Collins, who run this food service so masterfully and are invaluable to us. We couldn't do this without them. Karen Lowe's, whose expertise and efficiency running a Chinese auction is irreplaceable. Karen is so calm and collected in the face of chaos. We also thank our event backers, past and present, John Granny, Teresa Lucarelli, and Kaylee Klepper. To Seth and Kristen Klepper, the visionaries who came up with the whole concept of this event, we are more than grateful. Kristen is a master at organizing large events and keeping everything straight and encouraging me when I get doubtful. They always kept the focus on celebrating Joe and helping the kids, and made sure that the final decision-making was ours. This year, once the decision was made to discontinue the pig roast, we know we wanted to go big for the 5th and final. We knew we wanted to bring back the focus on Joe and have a bang-up party. We also needed something exciting. What is more exciting than money? Nothing. So we set a goal to raise $25,000, a lofty goal, and we knew we had to approach bigger businesses and corporations in Middlefield to reach that goal. None of us had those kind of contacts. Barb, Kristen, and I set up a meeting with Ben Garlick, Middlefield's mayor. We were hoping he could introduce us to some of these business leaders so that we could make our pitch to them. Ben went way beyond that. He took it upon himself to talk to all the partners you see on your table and on that great big red sign. He secured everything we needed to give you the most exciting giveaway yet at the Joe Peters Memorial Pig Roast. We are deeply indebted to him for his generosity of spirit and to all those partners who made this night's big raffle possible, including the Village of Middlefield, represented here by Councilman Big Bill Blue. Last year, a person who knows nothing about who we are and what we do said to me, "It's not about you." My response is, no, it's not about me or you. It's about remembering Joe for the great person he was. It's about him being a loving, nurturing, and supportive champion of every kid he ever knew, especially his family. He had a heart as big as the world, and I know he is so proud to know that we celebrated him by supporting kids. It's about all the generous partners, donors, volunteers, coaches, staff, parents, athletic and music boosters who, in celebrating Joe, celebrate all the kids that this event has been able to support through the donations raised here. It's about a community, all in this together for the good of others.